Should be live, Evan. I don't even have a theme song. Cause can I be 100% honest with you?
Well, if you can't, then who can you be with?
I'm kind of working on a song
Really?
that I'm doing on the keyboard.
Really?
Yeah. I've been playing with my keyboard quite a bit. That's not slang or anything like that.
No, no. I'm just intrigued. I did not know.
Yeah, so I've been playing with that and getting some different sounds and stuff out of it. So I kind of want to make her, my own theme music for our show. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. You're gonna have lyrics, or just gonna
No,
be some
no,
music,
no. Yeah, I can't sing. Come on, dude.
just a little melody. You could rap
Yeah,
something out.
I probably could. I probably could. Make sure we are okay. We
We're
are.
live.
Yeah, we are live. Anyway, it is the We Still Haven't Named This Show. It it is episode 6 already. 6 weeks of this. Today, top 50 stand-up comedians of all time. We're going to run through this list. We're going to argue about it. I don't think we'll argue too much. But yeah, the first one I think should be a lot. I don't even think he should be on the top 50, but that's just me. Can you
Okay,
can you
that's a
get?
lot to run through.
Oh, I know. In some of these we'll just read and go through. But here's the thing about this list: I stopped like around 10 or 11, so I don't know who the top 10 or 11 are. And this is from Paste magazine. There was one that I just didn't agree with. They didn't have any like of the older stand-up comedians. Cause I'm sorry, if you have a list, you got to have Don Rickles on there. You got to have Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
You got to have Richard Pryor,
Oh, absolutely.
and none of them were on there. I don't even think Carlin was on there. So I was like,
Okay.
that's a throwaway list right there.
Those dudes are, I would say, would be in my top 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and jump on this list real quick. Number 50, and I think he should be 100 and something. Not a fan of this dude at all. Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I can see he's got his place. He's funny.
I guess. I
Okay,
just, I
he
don't.
he he brought really some situation. He was really, I don't know, to me, somebody who kind of brought the whole situational comedy thing around. Where just taking little things instead of being a joke teller.
Right,
He took
right.
with little things and you wouldn't in your normal life and really expand on make it funny.
What's the
You know.
deal with, yeah.
Yeah, not to level like Mitch Hedberg. Now that dude is a master of it.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah.
dissected a club sandwich. I mean,
And I understand. Yeah, I mean, he came out with the Seinfeld show. It ran for years and very popular. Just not my cup of tea. Yeah,
yeah,
I
not,
don't. I
not his
don't.
stand up. No.
Yeah, his stand up it doesn't even make my top 100. So, Mike Biglia, Birbiglia.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I'm
Yeah,
not that familiar.
he's pretty funny. 48 Kevin Hart. I thought he would be further down on the list.
He's funny.
He
Yeah,
he is.
I'll give him his credit.
Right. And I think a lot of the movies he's done and everything, he's made funny. So, I mean, even though I'm not a huge Kevin Hart fan, I appreciate what he's done and his work and everything. Paul Tompkins, really don't know who that is.
Uh,
He was back in 98. So, number 46, John Mulaney. Funny dude. If you haven't seen John Mulaney, he's got like 3 specials on Netflix. He's
Yeah,
kind
I think I've listened.
yeah, he's kind of a quirky dude, but he's pretty funny. 45 Margaret Cho.
Yeah, she's all right.
Her early stuff was hilarious. When she started getting real political, kind of turned me off.
Yeah.
44 Wanda Sykes.
Oh, Wanda had a time when some of her stuff was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, she tore up the stand-up scene for a long time. Well, I think Joe Rogan did a show with her that you ought to go watch, and they talk about them going on the road together. And
Yeah, she's funny. She had some good stuff back then.
number 43, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, I think he got he kind of let that cancel culture and everything. He kind of stepped on some toes to to appease a bunch of internet trolls. So, I think he kind of killed some of his
Then you're failing as a comedian right there.
yeah. Number 42, Todd Berry. Not sure who that was.
Yeah.
He was on Newhart, I guess. 41, Gilbert Gottfried. He just died last year, didn't he?
He did?
Yeah,
Oh, dog.
I'm pretty sure.
He was pretty funny.
He was. I mean, it was that obnoxious comedy, but in the right doses and in the right place, he was hysterical. Now you could overdo it with him. I don't know.
This year, April. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it
Wow.
was. Number 40, Jim Gaffigan.
He's got his shtick, but
Yeah.
he's good.
Yeah. You know what? And he's a pretty clean comic.
I like his inner, like that female voice inner dialogue he has, heckling himself all the time. You
Yes.
know, that like he's got a kind of a funny thing going. I like him.
Yeah, I do too. 39, Henny Youngman,
Oh,
the king of
old
all
stuff.
one-liners.
yeah, take my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never heard of Henny Youngman, you gotta. I don't know if they have any on YouTube or what, but you gotta search him out. And yeah, that was a great old time. 38, George Burns.
I remember him being a neat character, but I don't remember him really being funny.
I remember like in the
He was cool though.
in the 70s and 80s when he would like host a lot of the award shows. He had that kind of dry sense of humor.
Yeah, and he was in that Oh God movie with
Yeah.
John Denver.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Made
37,
it rain in that Pacer wagon. Anyway, go on.
37, Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh,
Yeah. She was a stand-up comedian though. That's where she started.
she was hot back in the 80s. I'm
Yeah.
not saying visually. I'm saying her routine back then. She was, yeah.
But then she just, I don't know.
She's gone sour.
Yeah, way sour. She is a bitter woman. 36, Paul Mooney. I never really knew who Paul Mooney was until I watched the Chappelle Show, and then
But he was a writer for a lot of shows.
yes,
you know.
yeah, he really was, and he passed away too, just a few years ago, and yeah, he was a real comic. I mean, he just almost said shit that was the truth, but the way he said it would just make you crack up like he just told you a joke.
Oh yeah, I mean he laid the truth out, but he crack you up at the same time, like kind of like a Carlin,
Yeah,
Yeah, raw to the point. Yeah,
right. 35, Hannibal Buress. I am a fan of this guy. He's a pretty funny comedian.
not familiar.
Number 34, Maria Bamford.
Nope.
No, never heard of her. Uh, 33 is Aziz Ansari.
Ah,
He took some heat over that. I think he's starting to make a comeback, but I think he got kind of canceled for the Me Too thing because he was really coming up on his stand up. And then he got into, what was it, Parks and Recreation or some show like that.
I don't know. I found him kind of annoying. I didn't think he was really that funny. It was more of like sometimes it's more their delivery. If you break them down, and listen to them, you're like they're not that funny. Kind of like Larry the Cable Guy. If you take away his whole skit and his whole act behind his jokes, he's not that funny.
Right, right.
It's a lot of it's just his delivery, and that's the same with that guy. It's I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan.
And Larry the Cable Guy, I don't think a lot of people realize, but that's all, that accent and everything, and that's all fake.
Oh, he's from like New York or
Yeah,
something like that or whatever. And yeah, yeah, it's a good act and his delivery. The way he, you know, he pulls it off.
right. Number 32 on the list of all time 50 best stand up comics is Sarah Silverman.
Gosh, I hate to hand it to her, but she's pretty damn funny
She is.
sometimes. I mean,
I do.
she's so weird and out there and
Yes.
wrong, but sometimes she just like, God, that's a good comic right there. She pushes some shit.
Yeah, she does. And yeah, I'm not mad at that one. Number 31 on the list is Norm MacDonald.
I never thought he was really that funny, but he was good.
Yeah, he was. And I loved him in, what was that movie he was in? Not Dirty Work.
Dirty work.
Yeah, he did a movie that he starred in called Dirty Work. If you haven't seen it, Chris Farley's in it. Uh,
He's
there-
in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, but
Um,
this one he actually starred in, and it's a B movie. I don't think it went to theaters. I think it went straight to VHS or DVD, whatever. But you gotta watch it. Here,
I'll have to find it.
yeah, I'll make you want to watch it. Chris Farley plays a guy that got his nose bitten off by a Vietnamese hooker. Number 30, Bernie Mac. And I'm going to tell you what, if you want to see
Okay.
one of Bernie Mac's absolute best stand up performances, just go watch the Kings of Comedy and watch his set. He blew that place up. And yeah, he died way too young, too. Bernie Mac was a good dude.
Yeah.
Number 29, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh,
Dude, some of her first stand up when she came out was it was funny.
it was. And she gets stuck on her delivery after a while. Really starts to get to me.
Yeah.
This kind of nervous, chattering kind of. I don't know. It's yeah. Her some of her early stuff was funny when she was up and coming out, and I remember I'm like, man, I really like her, and then I don't know. Yeah, took a turn.
28, the queen of comedy, I think, in my personal opinion, Phyllis Diller.
Ain't gonna take that away. No.
She was, man. Phyllis Diller was just, I mean, just hilarious. She didn't. Her hair was always a mess, and she didn't care.
Wasn't she even on Scooby Doo?
I think so.
Anybody makes it on Scooby Doo, it's just like you. That's a high elevation right there. You know.
27, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes.
I think that's I'd almost put him in my top 20.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thi-
He was
I-
damn good. He
yeah.
had a real. He had a real thing. You know.
And number 26, Roseanne Barr.
Oh, some of her early stuff was really good too.
Well, and you know what? Her whole Roseanne series, her series, because I think ABC stole it from her, and I think that's bullshit. And her that whole Roseanne show was based on her stand-up comedy
Yeah.
and her jokes and everything. And she did a lot of that writing. I think Roseanne might be in my top 20. I think she'd be probably 20th.
Okay.
25, number 25 of the 50 best stand-up comics of all time, Robert Klein. He did a lot of shit on HBO and everything. He was kind of a clean-cut, dark-haired guy.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, kind of dry humor, but he was still pretty funny.
Okay.
Number 24, I think this dude was hilarious. I loved him, especially in his later years. He was also very funny, and that's Jonathan Winters.
He had his moments.
Man, that dude cracked me up, man. Just with Jonathan Winters, for me, is his facial expressions. I mean,
he was quick.
Yes, and just so quick-witted. And I love Jonathan Winters. Number 23 was Dick Gregory.
Oh, man. He was comedian / activist.
Yeah.
I guess I would call him a comedian, but he was kind of more than that. He was okay.
Here's what it says. The rare crossover success in the pre-Civil Rights Act era, Gregory provided a finely honed and often ridiculous take on social political commentary that only got sharper as he got older.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'd forgotten about him, but he deserves this place, that's for sure.
Number 22 on the list is Mitch Hedberg.
Yes.
Mitch, in his one-liners, if you've never seen Mitch, you got to go. You can probably find most of his stuff on YouTube, but
Man, that dude, he was a genius in his own way. And some of the specials, if you go back and watch them, they edited them down because there was one where, like, some of the stuff that has made him famous, he just didn't go over well. And there was one of his routines where he just sat down. And he's like, I'm not leaving. And he just kept going. And he got back up and did his stuff. And they edited like a lot of the crap out of that. And it's going on to be, YouTube, favorite right there and everything. He just, at first, some people just didn't get him, but he was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I agree. Number 21, Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks.
Yeah, he was back in the 70s.
Yeah, I give that.
Number 20, I think should be a lot closer to the top 5. Definitely in my top 5. Don Rickles. One of the funniest damn men alive. And he could not do half the shit, but he would do it today.
Yeah, pretty obnoxious dude. He got away with a lot, yeah.
Yeah. 19, wasn't a huge fan of this guy, Gary Shandling.
No. He came up on TV the other night, and me and the woman were like, never, ever.
Yeah, he's out of my top 50. Number 18, Bill Hicks.
I really, really like Bill Hicks. His stuff really wasn't so funny that he was just kind of pointing out, kind of like Carlin in a way, a lot of the shit, like kind of like how we're getting fucked and all that, but he made you laugh about it.
Right.
If you watch a lot of his stuff, it really, I guess, comedy does usually age well. You know what I mean? It's if you watch a lot of stand-up from a long time ago, it's different. Stand-up has changed a lot.
Well, yeah, because it's different eras.
Completely.
Yeah.
But he Yeah, definitely deserves to be on the top of the list. He was a hell of a fantastic comedian. He was good.
Number
But a lot
seven,
of his shows were more of a rant than a comedy routine.
right. Number 17, which I would put in my top 10, Red Fox.
We were talking about him the other night.
Yes, Red Fox is. If you've never heard any Red Fox stand up, you got to find that and listen to it. You will
Well, that
hilarious.
well that came up because I said, man, to me, Chappelle was one of the comedians that really got white people to laugh at themselves big time. And someone was like, nope, Red Fox, and I was like, I gotta go listen to some Red Fox, but I've been busy. My sister's been in town and shit, and I didn't get around to it. Gotta
16.
listen to it.
I don't know if this chick's even in my top 50. Lily Tomlin.
Ooh. Ooh, she deserves her place. She was a good actress, but something just kind of annoying about her.
I agree. Number 15, Jackie Mabley.
Don't know.
I don't know her either. I might have to go check her out. Number 14, Robin Williams.
Of course.
And
God, he was nutty. Some of his early coke-fueled stuff.
oh yeah,
Jeez, he was a spaz.
he sure was. Number 13, Lenny Bruce.
Mm.
Not bad. Number 12, which I tell you what, I do kind of like this guy. One of the lists that I had this guy at number 1, and I don't agree with this. He's okay, and I like him. I don't think he's one of the top comics of all time, and that's Louis C.K.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he is. And that show he had a show on like HBO or FX or something like that. Leave It to Louie or something. Man, that show was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he's a dark dude. I mean, he's different.
Number 11, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, yeah. He should be up there.
Yeah.
Raw, and Delirious.
Yep.
Are two fantastic stand-ups. Just classics, absolute classics.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what got me into comedy. Number
yes.
Number 10, Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say enough what I think Chappelle did in 2000s, 2010s. He owned comedy.
Those 2 seasons, his first 2 seasons, are some of the best comedy routines like in years.
Yeah.
To like some of that stuff was some of the best comedy. Going back to, I would say, like Carol Burnett kind of shit.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff was really funny. Good stuff.
And it was edgy. He pushed the network to the limits. And it was awesome to see. Number 9, I don't know if this guy should be in the top 10. He is funny and he deserves this place. I say in the top 25, Stephen Wright.
Oh, yes. Yeah, great comedian and actor for some years. I mean, he did bit parts, in shows and things.
This guy, he is...
everyone knows a Stephen Wright joke. Everyone has one in their head, you know?
Yeah. And you can hear the way he talks. Just, he just kinda...
I bought some used paint. It was in the shape of a house. It just... I love the dude.
Number 8, I'm not real familiar with this dude. Mort Saul.
And I'm not familiar.
No. Number 7, I did like some of his early stuff. Wasn't a fan of like his TV show and everything like that. Bob Newhart.
He was good, but I don't know if I've ever seen any stand-up or anything.
Yeah. Well, he did a stand-up like in the 60s.
Okay.
So, I mean, to find it, I don't know. Number 6, I don't know. Andy Kaufman.
Um,
I
I
don't.
wouldn't put him up in the
No.
top of the list, but he deserves a place. He was unique,
Yeah, but
different.
I don't think he makes my top 50. Sorry.
No, I didn't like him at the time. I just thought he was strange and weird. I didn't get into him. But once I got older and, looked back and watched some stuff, I was like, man, that dude, he's kind of genius in his weird way.
Right. Now number 5 would be in my top 20. Joan Rivers. Annoying, but she was funny, and she was another one that was very, very quick-witted.
Ballsy,
Yep.
ballsy woman.
I loved her on Carson when she was on Carson. Every time
Yeah.
she was on Carson, I had to stay up. And what
Yeah.
sucked was Carson always did. They did the stand-up comedians, but they did it like towards the end of the show.
Yeah. I just
So
love how she tore everybody up.
yeah, and
Was
didn't
Sheila the
care.
first that did that? She was just, she just tore everybody up.
Yeah. Number 4 on the list, Steve Martin.
Oh, yeah. You got to
Yeah,
give him his
I agree
place.
with that. Number 3, George Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, number 2, Chris Rock. I don't
Number
know if he's.
two.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Chris Rock beat George Carlin? I don't know. Or
He's
even
good, but
Steve
not that
Martin.
good.
And number 1 on this list of the 50 best stand-up comics of all time, Richard Pryor.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I think they missed a few. And I'm going to throw some names out there. I think you missed Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh,
Sold out arenas. Was one of the first comics to sell out an arena, like a football stadium.
really?
I think you got to put him in there. Was he dirty? Yeah. Did he have a short shelf life? Yes. But for what he did, another one, a new that's kind of new, Daniel Tosh.
He's good.
And I think where's Dane Cook? I mean, Dane Cook, kind of a douchebag, but man, when he was hot, he was hot.
Yeah, but he got destroyed. Rogan destroyed him, and I'm kind of almost surprised Rogan's not on the list. He's done a lot of stand up, but Rogan's not really that funny. But his stand up's good, but I wouldn't say he's extremely funny. Comedian.
Yeah.
Um, um, I'm trying to think of any that I would expect to be on there.
That's the two that kind of got me. I was like, Bill Burr. I think Bill
Bill.
Burr deserves to be on that list.
I think he's one of the top right now. I think he's in the top three right now.
Yeah, I think so. I'd agree with that. I'd
Yeah,
agree
he's
with
really
that.
really on top.
Uh,
Has been for a while.
now I'm kind of scrolling through another list that put Amy Schumer in the top 10, and that's ridiculous. Ahead of Eddie Murphy.
She got slapped down too for joke stealing.
Yeah.
Put her in the same pile with Dane Cook. They probably won't get the recognition, kind of like Carlos Mencia. Some of his show he did, it was some of little bit funny,
Yeah.
but he got slapped down. You don't
Right.
steal jokes, man.
Lewis Black, I think should have been on that top 50. Yep. That's a
I totally agree. Yeah,
Ricky Gervais.
he's good.
Um and I'm sorry. I know he's been accused of doing some horrible things, but to not put Bill Cosby on that list of stand-up comedians.
Totally agree. You're right. I mean, I was just thinking about this the other day when you mentioned comedians, and then I forgot about it. But I was thinking back, and I was thinking Bill Cosby's got. That was like one of the first tapes I ever
Y-
bought, like in grade school.
right,
That I bought a Bill Cosby, and I played that tape over and over and over. And then, they had that HBO special. We used to watch that over and over.
mm-hmm,
His stuff, some of his stuff was legendary. He deserves to be on that list.
right, right. I agree.
Dang.
Some of these now, some of the newer, I mean, there are some good newer comics. You got your Cat Williams and Mike Epps, and one of my
Cat
favorite.
Williams.
I like that Anthony Jeselnik. I'm a fan of his. The dude in England, what's his name?
I know you're talking about.
I can't think of it. But yeah, he's funny. I've watched almost all of his stuff. So I mean, there's still some good stand-up comedians, and they're
Hmm.
still out there telling their jokes. So
I was curious, and I wouldn't think it would make the list. Sam Kinison. I always think about him because, like, him and Pryor were both from around the Peoria area, and but Sam Kinison really wasn't that funny. It was more of his whole routine was just over the top.
yeah, and his first when he first came out, I think it was like a spectacle.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
and
He
then
turned a lot of people off. Like, gosh, he's just too much.
yeah, I think he did like two specials, and the second one like bombed. And Sam was more worried about the partying and hanging out with the rock stars and the cocaine, and you
Yeah.
know, I mean that was Sam. He wanted to party.
Yeah. He was actually he going to be a preacher. His dad was a preacher.
Yeah,
They're from around like Pekin area, and then he just come and he had a brother. I think that still became maybe a preacher. He had a brother, but anyway, yeah, he that dude took a turn. Trying to think any others.
Jimmy Carr was that guy's name I was trying to think of, from England.
Yep, yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that dude. And I can't watch it around too many people because they don't like the English accent, and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
it's just a little different than American, really. They just say a few words different, but mainly it's the same fucking language.
yeah. You get used to it. Uh,
So yeah, I've always kind of wanted, and I'll be straight up with you. I got about 10 minutes of stand up written where I've actually written out some jokes because sometime I'm gonna get on an open mic.
I've said the exact same thing, and I don't have it all written, but I've got some stuff written down, like to remind myself of some like routines. And 10 minutes, yeah, I could probably put 10 minutes, and that's always been one of those like bucket list things.
Yeah, that's the same with me, dude. But I don't want to
I
do it.
can't do it.
Yeah, I can't, and it'd have to be somewhere where nobody knew me.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
walk in, they're like, "Do you know this dude?" And I walk on stage, do my 10 minutes, sweat. When I get off stage, I run out, and they never see me again.
Exactly. I'm the exact same. The whole thought in my head is like I want to go to a comedy club to either walk off stage and have people high five me or completely bomb but say, you know what, I did it. I went and I laid down
Yeah,
my
right.
material and I just like I gave it my best and just wanted to because I am so introverted. I would just I don't know if I could do it. I would just be a mess and I have no idea how I would get it. It's like you can plan like it's kind of like sex or anything else. You can plan for it in your head all you want, but when it comes down to doing it, it's like, like
Ever,
Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
that's right. That's right. But yeah, that's always been something and I think I'll do it one day. I think I will. But like I said, it's going to have to be somewhere. I could not do it in the town I lived in.
No.
But, you
But there
know,
was a guy I worked with at Tate and Lyle for a while, and he was from around Cerro Gordo area, but he went and competed. He said, I went to St. Louis. You have so much time and everything, and through a whole group of judges, and he was up there, but he didn't get. But the winner got to go do like got to meet Jay Leno and go on his show or one of those like that. And he's like, I
oh,
didn't,
okay.
but I was up there. I was like, really? Like you did stand up comedy, you know? And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, wow, I've never met anybody who actually, had the guts to actually do it or try it, or was that
Yeah.
funny to do it?
Well, I tell you what, we need to find like an open mic night in a shithole in Indiana or something. And me and you'll jump in one of your cars and we'll just make a road trip of it. And we'll do a video of it and put it
Oh
on the
man.
website. Alan Nevin doing stand up comedy in a shithole in Indiana. Dude.
Yeah, I can only imagine doing it once. Like there better be that Hollywood, person right there that says, you know what, I want to sign this dude right now because it's like I ain't doing this again for nobody. You caught it, now, hook
No,
me up.
you don't want to go Hollywood, man.
Oh no, I'm not ready to sell my soul. No.
But well, anyway, shit, I think that's our show, Evan.
Oh, well, okay then.
Well, top 50 comedians of all time. Kept it real nice and light.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're not doing the politics show because I think I would have went snap for 2 hours. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I had to get off that.
No, this is more fun.
Yeah, I think so. So we didn't. If you have an idea for the show, this is kind of a, we just take one topic every Wednesday, and I don't know. We'll figure out next week.
Yeah. I will come up with something.
Yeah, we got a week to do it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Chili, tell them bye.
Well, all right. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. 2 more days. Get through it. Be good.
No.
And thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much. We love you. I fucked it up. Peace. We love you. Be good to one another. It was windy some bitch today. I meant to say that
yeah, it was.
earlier. Jeez. Anyway, be good to one another. I want to say that twice. Love you guys.
Later.
Stop streaming.